Hello, so I'm going to be discussing the Graham vs. John Deere obviousness case. It's from a while ago, but it was a very quintessential part of the obviousness idea that I'll be discussing later. So in 1996, William T. Graham had sued John Deere & Co. for patent infringement. This case was a turning point for the idea of obviousness in terms of patent ideas, and that it forced the U.S. Supreme Court to clarify the non-obviousness requirements set forth in 35 U.S.C. 103. Which I've referenced in my last obviousness case. The invention is questioned and being discussed by Graham and John Deere. If you don't know, John Deere is an American corporation that manufactures agricultural, construction, and forestry machinery, diesel engines, drivetrains used in heavy equipment, and lawn care equipment. So the case, again, was a combination of what's considered old mechanical elements in what it was a device designed to absorb shock from the shanks of chisel plows that they plow through rocky soil and thus prevent damage to the plow. Graham took it upon himself to solve this problem. He decided to attach the plow shanks to spring clamps, and this allows them to flex freely so they don't get as damaged. So in 1950, he applied for a patent for this clamp, and it was granted one. U.S. Patent 2493811. Shortly thereafter, he made some more improvements to the clamp design by replacing the hinge plate beneath the plow shank rather than above it. So in order to minimize the outward motion of the shank away from the plate. So again, he applied for another patent on this improvement, and it was granted again in 1953, and this was 2627798. So patent 798 is the main one involved in this court. So this is a patent that William was suing John Deere for. However, the Deere company believed that the 798 patent should not be worthy of a patent at all due to the lack of novelty or innovation in the new design. Under the description of an obvious patent, John Deere asserted that because of anticipation, because of a prior use more than 1 year prior to the date of the appliance for such patent, and further because the subject matter of the patent would have been obvious to a person of ordinary skill in the art due to the status of the prior art, that the patent should be deemed void. In the end, the verdict in the case went to John Deere. The court saw and believed that Mr. Graham considered to be an obvious patent and said the infringement was invalid. From there, this case is where the whole section of 103 came into play in the patent world. So section 103 discusses how to determine what is versus what isn't obvious, and here are a few of the outlines in section 103. So 1, determination of the scope and content of the prior art. 2, identification of any differences between prior art and the claims at issue. 3, determination of the level of ordinary skill in the pertinent art that warrants the award of a patent. And 4, review of any relevant secondary considerations such as commercial success long felt by unresolved needs and failure of others. Cool. So thank you very much.